Jokerman is a font created by Andrew Smith in 1995. He is a graphic designer and typographer. Jokerman was created while he was working for Letraset, which is famous for the invention of the Letraset type lettering system in the 60s. He decided to create the font because, in his words, there weren't enough creative, wacky fonts around at the time. The name Jokerman was used as a tribute to the 1980s Bob Dylan song of the same name because he liked that song. Smith also designed a few other novelty fonts that became somewhat popular. The most notable of these is Chiller, which was meant to be a horror font. The idea was inspired while he was watching an Alfred Hitchcock movie. You can see an example of that font here. In researching the Jokerman font, it seems to be mostly held in contempt. It is certainly not a serious font. For example, in a 2018 blog by Mason Kingsbury, posted on the Twintosity Web Development Company site, it made the top of his list for the worst fonts of all time. Kingsbury wrote, Jokerman is the go-to font for school projects and total IT newbies that wrongly associated with words such as fanciful, fun, and lighthearted. Whether you're a stand-up comic, a children's entertainer, or an actual medieval joker, never use Jokerman. If you want to totally ruin your credibility, then by all means get amongst it. In another post from the blog The History, Style, and the Use of Type, the author stated that this font is such a joke that it even has the word in its name, Jokerman. I really don't even know why people use this typeface, because it is impossible to read and overly ornamental. I guess you could say that this font is fun, if you are 5 years old. A fan of the font is Vampire Weekend lead singer and Apple Radio music host Ezra Koenig. I was introduced to Jokerman while listening to an archived episode of his radio show Time Crisis a few months ago. In a December 2018 episode, Andrew Smith was a guest of the show. During the course of their discussion, Koenig mentioned that he became interested in the font because it shared a name with the Bob Dylan song. Smith confirmed that this was indeed the case, which pleased Koenig. Koenig finds that the song and the font share a juxtaposition of lightheartedness and heaviness, which he finds quite fascinating. Probably the best way to classify Jokerman would be as a novelty font. If we wish to be uncharitable, it can also be classified as a terrible font, making it related to the others on the list I mentioned before, which included Comic Sans and Blackadder ITC, which I found unfortunate because I like the 80s British comedy that it's based off of. On the Fonts in Use website, some other similar fonts mentioned are Curls, FF Mambo, and Kablamo, which do indeed look quite similar to Jokerman, at least from my perspective. As far as use in the world, Jokerman tends to be used in stores related to children. See this sign for the Fun Zone, for example, which looks like some kind of arcade. It was apparently frequently used in coffee houses in the 1990s, but all evidence of this may have already been destroyed, perhaps out of shame. I could not find any images in my Google Images search in any case. The font has also been used in Vampire Weekend related merchandise, such as this t-shirt from their 2019 tour. Another instance I came across, since it was mentioned in the Koenig-Smith interview, was as the label for a jar of ashes collected at Burning Man in 2001. The artifact was included in a Burning Man art exhibition in 2018 held at the Renwick Gallery in Washington, D.C. In general, I much prefer fonts that are unobtrusive and easy to read. Jokerman is neither of these. However, I do appreciate the story of its creation and the eccentricity of the font. It has a place, even if it might be a small one. The interview with its creator has stuck with me, so I thought it would be a good font to feature for this mini documentary.